Big expectations. I was told by somebody that
I was hoping that they would.
expect
I was hoping that they would
nothing.
curve it perpendicular or replace
Take
it.
that day by day.
I don't think they're going to, so I think they are. I wonder if we should.
But that's why that was done the way it was.
Mark Shawnee,
Talked to a planner the other day, he said that there is.
The only thing is, I talked to one of the engineers the other day, we're gonna set up a meeting.
And these multi-family too?
Well, I don't know, and also we're about to clear.
Let me know.
I told you, once you got
But I
it,
actually,
Oh, we're net.
definitely looking at Sawyer
so you're talking
Creek.
looking at doing a $50 million thing to Sawyer Creek.
And to upgrade the
Yeah.
tile.
I'll figure out what planning for.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a ton of.
It's part of what they're doing. This
This is separate jobs.
You know what who they are? Sure.
But I just wanted to, let me know if they can all set up that meeting. Just let me know, 'cause I was talking to one of the planning guys, and he's like, I'm not seeing anything of that. I got it my way. I think you should push it. I got it.
Yeah, they don't want.
I haven't, and I just didn't know if they've even had that yet or anything, I just. So they gotta come and look at it. Oh, yeah.
First of all, they just hired me. And that's why the guy at the corner, Kurt out there, driveway like this. This is what's her name? So they're gonna, I don't know. He said they gotta figure out how they're gonna fix it.
Spring and what makes it, down where it was a mess.
They picked us, yeah, like, so when they got the sidewalk by my church, when they, so that guardrail was there, they literally put dirt up, put the top of the guardrail. Well, now the guardrail's all ripped out, and now you got a drop. Church can't hold along. I said it should have been 1 on 3, it's just right. 1 on 4. So we met with them. They didn't say, but they said it's 3.
I also want to see if they're gonna replace that. West Park. Remember where by the, by over the main, they're like a, by side. Your side. I just think that push to make sure they do something there. I think how many years ago, just to kind of get it by, and 45.
Yeah.
What's going on with them?
That is.
Did they arrest him?
Well, there's 2 ways to do this, and I don't know if the council is when they don't cut the grass. It can. If we did that route, we have to go to state. So, we're going this far with it now. It's going to turn. More stuff in. I look at him and I'm like, no. You know, he thinks somebody's gonna touch him. And that's the problem, and that's what you do. I'm done with it. I'm like, so he didn't, you know, himself, he didn't. So then I have 2 choices. I could reach
That
out.
was previously done, they were part of Pie Place.
So you get this claim because
That's not. Hopefully, it's just gonna be one day.
Right now it's only going.
So what about these 2?
I would.
Pieces that are still,
You know, but if you want to do that, you're not intimidated because there's nothing. No, it's now.
Did you see the person there? Maintaining these. And theoretically maintain.
No, I can't.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get you to fall. He goes, well, it's on my property. I mean, but you know, where it is. And he's like, hey, I got a message. He was my wife's partner for years.
I grew up.
I grew up. Him and my wife were constantly, and then, you know, I don't, it's not normal. And he knew these, he heard they became too.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. The crazy thing is, it was just a crazy thing that yeah, it is. And I just started listening. But I'm trying. He's going to get something else.
We gave him his goal. I've gotten nothing out of him. Finally, I was coming forward.
Are you gonna fill all these lots to get around?
Give him another couple. It's not done. I said, I'm not saying so. It doesn't happen anymore. I'm like, do you think you're that's it. You don't get it. You're not. Okay, you got it. And then, you got the other you know what's funny? He's the last one to call me. I know so. Raven Bees want to pay me.
He doesn't want to problem.
And he's called all the things that I'm like,
Keeping you on your toes, Don, keeping you on your toes.
I wish it doesn't.
but that's what he was all worried about. So I told him, I said, Chris, I said, well, you guys are taking it. I know it's slow. I'm fine. It's Sunday. And he's not, you're right, he's not, he's adding to it.
Just being kind.
Yes. So, yeah.
That's a hoarder, that's not.
Yeah. So that's where you get it, everything's got a value. To him, it's worth $1 million. It is. But he's going to do cents. So if you want to come in and see it, this would be a first for me.
All the neighbors are like, whoa.
Would you like to meet my I guess so.
Well, yeah, that's one thing I don't want to do. I told you. It matters. What's going on?
We're not gonna go tomorrow. We could.
They just keep precedent.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a breakdown. Or it's going to cost them thousands.
Because once you go for 2 weeks. Next time it's going
Good evening, folks. Thank you for attending our May 4th meeting. I want to start off thanking Mike Sale, Jesse Gooch, and Dave Godfrey for presenting the town of Wakefield with the 250th celebration banners and flags. And we will make sure they're put in the appropriate locations in the town of Wakefield. And thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we pray thee to grant wisdom to all who are in authority, that order and justice may be upheld for the benefit of all citizens. and guide us to better serve the people of our community. Restrain those who seek to destroy our government. We ask your divine wisdom to rest upon our leaders to guide them and protect them. Amen.
For the record, all board members are present. And our attorney is Bill today. Can I have approval of the minutes, April 6th, 20? You guys hear me out there?
No.
No. Larry? I can hear you.
Approve those.
Any better or not?
Bring it on.
Any better?
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Randy made the motion, we need a second.
Second. And seconds, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, minutes are approved. Approval of bill payment of April 20th, 2026, vouchers number 202-60433 to 2060507, to a total amount of $481,489.73. Can I have a motion, please? So moved.
Second.
And the second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And approved. The bills are paid for April 20th. Approval of bill payment for May 4th, 2026. Voucher number 202-60508 through 202-60598 with a total amount of $137,837.86. Can I have a motion, please?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any public input tonight? Yes.
Hi, how are
Down
you?
the microphone, please.
Sure. Hi, how are you? Good afternoon. My name is Elise Burge. I represent Love Nug Dispensary over on Niagara Falls Boulevard. Joe, you're, what's the exact number?
Actually, just on
3176
Niagara Falls Boulevard.
3176 Niagara Falls Boulevard. I spoke with Matthew Brooks, your town attorney, the past few months, asking for an extension of Sunday operating hours. Currently, town of Wheatfield specifically, is about 4.5 hours less than any other Niagara County dispensary, and almost 5.5 hours less than any dispensary in Erie County. We have about at least 4 pages of patrons of Love Nug who've asked for an extension of hours that we're happy to provide during the public comment period, but today we're really just looking for a resolution to pass so that we can hold a meeting for public comment to hopefully extend hours for any dispensaries in the town of Wheatfield.
And I believe, I'm sorry Matt has lost 6 today.
I know, I'm lucky.
Yeah, I think he caught it with his wife, she was sick last week. But it seems to me there's a local law that regulates the hours of operation for the dispensaries. So if anything, we would have to modify the local law to open it up on Sundays. Now, I don't think the board has discussed this. So I guess the only thing I could say to you is that we should discuss this. I wish Matt was here, but unfortunately he's sick to discuss. And I guess your reasoning is because of the, you actually have no business hours on Sunday, is that correct?
No, we do currently operate from 12 to 5, which is what's permitted within the local municipality law. The state of New York has no regulation in regards to Sunday operating hours, and town of Wheatfield is actually the most strict of any of the localities in the area. So the real issue comes into play, especially on things like Bill Sunday, games when they're on Sunday. That 12 to 5 window really impacts businesses. Just for reference, we're talking about the difference between making $400 a day between $2,500 a day. So that can really impact a small business, and obviously this is an area that small business is marketed, and you guys have done a great deal for small businesses, and we just are looking to have an extension of hours from 9 to 9 or 9 to 8, depending upon what can be granted here. But really it's becoming an impacted problem for that Sunday period.
All I can say is, and again, I wish Matt was here, I'm not sure the specifics, but I believe it's a local law that regulates So we would have to modify the local law. And if you would, give me your name and phone number, I will contact you, and we can sit down, you can give us your justification as to why.
Sure.
And then I can discuss that with the board, and if we feel that action should be taken, we will definitely do it.
So I did talk to Matthew 2 days ago. He has already drafted a resolution, so would it make the most sense for the three of us to talk and for him to propose the resolution? Is that something we can do prior to next month's meeting, so that we could hold a public
Well,
comment?
we can meet and discuss it, but as far as doing a formal resolution, that won't happen until the next meeting.
May I ask if there's, some adversity to extending the hours?
The other thing that we haven't discussed it, I personally have no problem with it, but the other board members, it's a board, so it's a voting decision.
Sure. Before we have that meeting, is there anybody that would like to ask me a question or any questions regarding the extension or anything that maybe helps, give a little bit more clarity to the extension of hours?
Yeah, good question.
Sure.
Your website posted that your hours on Sunday were from like 9 to 7. And I think you just recently corrected it back to 9 to 5.
Yes,
Were you open to 7 o'clock on Sundays, or?
no, so when the original website was first built, and that's during that final inspection period, that's before you begin opening. You do that through the OCM, and, you know, Jolie and I, we look back on, the reason it was changed is because Matthew brought that to our attention, and we actually didn't know that that was the case.
But your hours were really to 5 o'clock, they weren't to 7?
They were to 7, no, they were 5 o'clock.
Okay, so the website was wrong.
Website was wrong, and at this point, we haven't seen, you know, any real, events past 5 o'clock at this point.
Anybody else?
I got a question, but it doesn't pertain to the hours.
Sure.
I had a couple of the residents call me about the flag you've got it at the corner of Kruger and Ward. It's right up near the sidewalk, and they pull down Kruger and they can't see the cars coming. I had two residents call me.
Okay.
So one of them said he almost got in an accident trying to pull out, because that big open flag there in the corner.
Sure.
And we, at least took extra measures to try to push the snow off the sidewalk and not put it on the side. Because that's the problem, you know.
But they come down the boulevard pretty quick.
Yeah.
The cars, so somebody coming out on Kruger's got, Kruger on the boulevard's got to be able to see him coming.
Yeah, there's like probably 4 feet of snow, you know, all down that edge. You couldn't see, you had to kind of pull out, you know.
Yeah, no problem.
And, you know, I would say this, I mean, personally, I mean, what you're doing is completely legal. And, I will talk to the board members between now and our next meeting. And again, we support all our businesses in the town. And I don't think your request is unreasonable personally. So, again, I wish Matt was here, we could probably do a resolution tonight, but I was only fair to talk to the board members about it, okay?
No, understood. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you. Anyone else? Marvin, that's awesome.
I don't have much, just, we almost wrapped up all of our hot patching for the year, or for the spring. We're gonna start actually milling and paving hopefully the end of this week. We will be spending a lot of time doing, maintenance work on existing roads, not as much blacktopping as usual because of the weather we had really beat the roads up. The only other thing I have, and we've been getting calls for these people, I actually have a few people here, but I don't think any of you guys care. We're actually getting calls for people in their lawns and the grass with these stupid garbage cans. They don't know what to do with their grass. They call Modern. Modern tells them to call Wheatfield. I am not collecting grass, and they are not dumping it at my shop. So if you have neighbors that ask you what to do with the grass, tell them to get mulching blades. Because
Well, we suggested composting, mulching lawnmowers, and if they bag it and put it in their tote, they'll take it.
Modern told them they won't.
Well, they will, as long as they.
Yeah, I know. I know.
As long as it's bagged, well.
I just, in case people ask you guys on the board, you know, what am I supposed to do with my grass? That's your only choices. Dumping it at my shop is not an
If
option.
it's bagged, they'll take it.
Okay,
Okay?
And it's, the bag's gotta be in the garbage, so.
right. And besides that, that's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Mark, you have surgery, anything from the water department?
Good evening. Yeah, Mark will be out probably for a month or two, so I'm telling the shoes doing the best we can. We've been busy. We've been busy, and like Paul was saying with the weather, everything's kind of, we've been trying to catch up with landscaping, and the weather's been holding us back. But we've been moving. We've had a couple water and sewer taps we've been working on. Grinder tank issues as usual. Wheatfield Gardens, we had to rebuild that. And the SPCA, and then you've kind of been involved a little bit with that issue going on, trying to resolve it. It looks like they're doing a better job with trying to keep a lot of that pet hair and things from,
I think, I was out there.
yeah, Mark had mentioned that. Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, of course, I'm a big supporter of anybody who loves animals, but, they're trying to be a little bit better at making sure they keep what crap they have or looking for.
Yeah, Mark went out there as well and kind of gave him some suggestions, and it seems to be working for now, so fingers crossed. We don't have to babysit that as much over there. We're gonna be doing the seasonal grinder tank cleaning as well, so supposedly having a few summer help come, give us a hand with that. They're gonna have town IDs and uniforms as well, so people don't freak out who's in their yard doing that. We're just doing seasonal things. The lead testing has begun. I was working with Mr. Zuber there, where we dropped off. We had bottles dropped off tonight for tomorrow, and we have 2 more pickups scheduled for that, so that should be taken care of by the beginning of June. That was a requirement. We're trying to get that done ahead of schedule. And that's about it. We've been working with Tim Walk, also from Wendell.
Keep my best to Mark.
Will do. Thank you. Thank you.
Mike Rinaldi was excused tonight for personal business. Chris Jordan, building department.
Just a couple things. Our new guy, he's halfway through his classes, so he is currently certified as just a BSI. He's got 3 more classes to go before he gets his full CEO. And secondly, we've begun a spring cleanup around town. We broke probably, I'm going to say, 9 violations as of today, and we have a couple cases that are heading to further enforcement procedures on that, and a couple things that we work with Tim on tomorrow, and hopefully just let some things up. You guys have any questions for me?
Anybody else for progressing?
Okay, and, Chris, are there anything on registered vehicles, things like that also?
Yeah, we're trying to get all that, and we're working on with stuff that we do in the management community too. We're gonna start going there, now that Chris is certified for BSI, he can start writing those violations. So we can start hitting your guys' list. And our swing.
Thanks. Anything else? Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you. Holly Coughlin, our assessor.
So tentative role link is on the home page of our website. It's, it is on the front homepage, right, Kathy, that says link to tax roll to right to the Niagara. I just checked it. So it's the link that says assessment roll or tax roll on the homepage of the website. There's a link right to Niagara County where our tentative roll is posted. Tentative roll is out as of May 1st. July 1st will be final roll. And so right now, between now and July, I can't change anything. So if any resident comes in asking, I can't do anything, they would have to go to the Board of Assessment Review. And that is scheduled for May 26th of this year. Then I would also, I gave you guys a memo, I'm requesting to go to Ithaca for an IAO class and take the exam, the highest level in the assessing, and I just kind of want that, and I've been working towards that, taking exams in different classes and everything, and now I'm at that level that I would like to take that and get that designation.
All right. I'll make the motion now.
Second.
council?
No, sir.
Thank you. Wendell Engineers. Good evening, everyone. We just have two things on our agenda this evening. The first is the planning board summary from April. Now we're kind of back on schedule. I only have to give you 1 month at a time here. So our first meeting in April is on April Fool's Day, appropriately. The first item on that agenda was a site plan for Pelicanos Marketplace. That's been in front of the planning board several different times. But the applicant is proposing to expand their existing Pelicanos Marketplace business at 3238 and 3354 Niagara Falls Boulevard. They recently revised their plans and now propose to move the actual Pelicanos Marketplace official building to a new building that's going to be constructed in the lot next door. The new marketplace would occupy 19,600 square feet of the new building, and it'll include a 3,000 square foot and 3,600 square foot tenant space on either end. The existing marketplace building will be expanded by 3,000 square feet and include 1,200 square feet of an outdoor eating area. There's also an additional 10,000 square foot retail building and 3 pole barn storage buildings that are proposed in the complex. The storage buildings would be only for ancillary uses to the businesses that are going to be in the complex. It's not meant for commercial storage. The complex will have an additional access point to Niagara Falls Boulevard. The development will be phased and include new parking, landscaping, stormwater management practices to support the overall development. It's going to remove the 2 existing curb cuts from the residences that are in the lot that were acquired next door and replace it with a modified, expanded, single access point. Parcels are all zoned commercial and fall into the Niagara Falls Boulevard Overlay District. Planning board continued discussions on critical issues and discuss that projects need to update their project documents, design reports, SWIP, etc., to cover the new layout and configuration of the site. We were almost complete with the previous layout, but now they need to do some adjustments to accommodate the things that changed in the plan. So no action was taken on that project. The next item was the site plan for Confer Plastics addition. The applicant proposes to construct a 27,000 square foot addition to their existing building at 2107 Liberty Drive. Site zone industrial and is in the airport potential impact area. The addition would be to provide additional storage of plastics products at the facility. There is no manufacturing at the site, just storage. The addition would be in an area of the site that is currently paved for loading dock access. The planning board issued a negative declaration under seeker and subsequently approved the site plan with conditions. That's been in front of the board a couple times as well. The last item was the site plan for Cinco Bain. The applicant proposes to construct a 90,000 square foot prefabricated metal building within the footprint of the recently demolished 345,000 square foot industrial building space at 6600 Walmart Road. The new building would be constructed to support industrial ceramics business. Site zone industrial, general industrial, falls with the airport zone 1 overlay and airport protection area, obviously. Project proposed to restore portions of the impervious site lawn area to reduce their impervious cover and meet their stormwater management requirements. Planning board discussed several items, including utility capacity, drainage, and coordination with the NFTA, FAA, and Air Force Base. The planning board declared lead agency status under seeker and motion to begin a coordinated review. No other action was taken. That was it for the first meeting, and the second meeting for April 15th was canceled. Sure, sorry. The second meeting was April 15th, but it was canceled due to lack of agenda items. So that is our planning board summary for April. Any questions from anybody on that? So our only other item is we have a memo and some updated fees in our engineering fee schedule that we're proposing. We have a motion in our packet for you tonight for that. Basically, we're proposing an increase in inspection fees for our VIPs. We don't have any on the books or scheduled at this point, but Our inspector fees are going up, so we have increased that fee from 105 to 115. And now these are fees that are paid by the developers during construction, not by the town. The other item in there is our base site plan review fee, currently $600. We're proposing to increase that to $800. That's for projects that are under an acre. We've been seeing an influx of those, which we think is good, because people trying to stay underneath the threshold to need to comply with the state stormwater requirements. But we're finding that there's many of the same things that need to be looked at during those site plans as well. So we have a motion, with you for that, and that's all we have.
Dave Godfrey, County Legislature. Anything tonight, Dave?
Nothing really official, but I do want to say that a week ago Friday, I had the pleasure of joining our sheriff's department and graduating 8 correctional officers. 6 of those were from Niagara County, 2 from Orleans County. And when you think about correctional officers today and the ability to hire them and retain them, it's right up there with volunteer firemen and EMS. It's one of those specialties that you just can't find anybody. So I was very proud to be there during that graduation. They did an outstanding job, and we have a list now going for yet another class coming up later. It's quite nice to see 8 correctional officers.
That's it. Mike, anything you'd like to say?
Just, it was a pleasure hearing some of those economic development projects, especially Pelicanos. Before I retired, when I was commissioner of the County Department of Economic Development, we worked hard with the folks at Pelicanos to help them with their expansion, and they were just granted an extension of their low-cost power that the county offers through the Empower Niagara program. So it was great to hear your report on Pelicanos, and just thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Motions.
The first motion is from Wendell to approve the updated fees for engineering review 2026 multi-site review and PIP inspection fees in accordance with Wendell's letter dated April 30th with the fee schedule in your
Motion, please.
So, second, what, we're gonna put these fees in the minutes, or do they just stay in the file? Because right now, they're not in these minutes.
And then we also have to discuss the fees.
No, they're in fees.
Yeah.
Second, we get a motion in a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
The second motion is from the Water Sewer Department to approve and authorize the request from Mark Clark, Water Sewer Superintendent, to attend the rural water class at Turning Stone Casino from May 17th to May 20th, with the town of Wheatfield covering necessary expenses, including transportation, registration, and lodging.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion to second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried.
The next motion is from Recreation Department to approve and authorize the request. Mark Clark, Water Sewer Department Superintendent, to hire Ronald Morton, Wayne Grayson at Summer Seasonal Help as laborers Saturday, May 11th at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to job specifications of the Water Sewer Department Seasonal Help, pending approval from Human Resources and the Niagara County Criminal Background Check.
So moved.
Second.
Is that for water sewer, Tim?
It's for water.
Yeah.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Motion from the Budget Director, that this town board does hereby approve and authorize the expenditure in the amount up to $380,000 from the Highway Equipment Capital Reserve Fund for the purchase of a new 2026-27 Mack granite tandem dump truck with stainless steel box, reversible plow and wheel, and slide, and stainless steel salt unit for the Highway Department, subject to a 30-day permissive referendum, notice of which shall be published in the town's newspaper record.
The motion, please.
No move. Second.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
workers' compensation audit with Leahy Company.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried.
The next motion is from the Recreation Department to hire Mackenzie Grace Bowlander as summer seasonal help for the youth center summer camp at a rate of pay and terms pursuant to job specifications of the Recreation Department, seasonal help, and pending approval of human resources at the Niagara County Criminal Background Check.
So moved.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you, Kathy. Board members, Larry Elder.
Just one item, I sent an email out. The town has outdoor Wi-Fi in the parking lot connected to the town hall and the community center. And, our maintenance renewal is coming up in June. And I sent an email out to the town board and some of the department heads to see how much use it's getting. And we're still waiting to get the statistics on it. It's like a little over $400 a year for the maintenance. But some people are questioning whether it's worth spending $400 and what we're using. So I'm trying to figure out, who exactly is using it. I don't know if the constable is using it or if the sheriff's department or whether they have court right here, people are out there trying to pay their tickets in the parking lot. But we have outdoor Wi-Fi and if anybody knows if we're using it or not, get a hold of me by the end of the month so we can decide whether or not we're going to keep it or not. There used to be statistics inside those radios that would let us know how often they were active and how much bandwidth they were using. I know Dave Guthrie was instrumental in getting these for us during the COVID process in 2021, 2022, when we put them in, because people needed Wi-Fi, they couldn't do their work and they couldn't socialize in public, so they figured they'd be okay in a parking lot in their car. So that's when we put it in, but I don't know how much it's being used. If we're not using it, it'll be limited to $400. You can shut it off and you hear it back up. We could, but if we don't pay the maintenance, the licenses will expire as of June 7th. It'll go dark in the parking lot, and no longer.
Well, to be honest with you, Larry, it's just my opinion, I think it's used at all. I mean, $400 is nothing compared to what we spend in bills, so to me, if it doesn't get any use at all, I think we should continue. That's just my personal opinion. Anybody else want to chime in? Anything else, Larry? Larry, anything else? What was that?
I've got correspondence from Burgos Fire Hall. They had Philip Jack, they're after brass, and I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And that's it, John.
Thank you. Clerk, read that.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Randy Renslaw.
I have nothing.
I just want to remind all the people up here and all our town employees, the town has mandated that all of our employees do CPR training. And that will take place here at the town hall. And I want to say I attended a CPR training maybe 6 weeks ago. And it's well worth attending. How things have changed over the years for CPR training. Well worth it, and I think it'll be a benefit to all of our employees. Also, this Friday, we have 2 constables graduating from the peace officer class, and I didn't realize how extensive it was. But back this week, they're in Buffalo doing warehouse active shooter training. It's actually pretty intense what they do, and I kind of tracked this. Very, very proud of them and what they do. So there's a lot of effort towards at least a 6-week course that they take to graduate. So this Friday at noon at the community center will be their graduation. And that's all I have. Any further public input? Kathy, yes.
We've had a few calls from residents regarding the recycling folks. We had one today, which is that people are allowed to have 2 or 3 recycling totes. Modern, and they've only been picking up 1 tote. So the resident calls Modern, and Modern says, well, our records show you only have 1 tote. The town's records show that they have 2 totes. So what we learned today is that the Modern database for recycling only has not been updated. So the file was sent to Modern. So residents can get additional recycling totes picked up. So there's been a lot of confusion about that as we have been getting calls. So we finally resolved what the issue was. So if people call about the recycling totes, they can have the additional totes. They should be picked up, and Modern should be doing it.
Well, question, did the additional totes come in?
Nope. I guess they're at Modern, but we haven't seen them yet. That's why I've been telling people, if you come in and get one, I don't know when you're gonna get delivered to your house, because like I said, we're starting paving, and that comes first.
Well, before something goes wrong, you're tied up, we'll have all the other departments deliver. Michael Donnelly already agreed to, deliver totes if you were, that's not a problem.
Want me to check with Modern tomorrow, see when it'll be delivered?
Yeah, sure.
Our next meeting is May 18th, 2026, for bill pay only. And June 1st will be our regular town board meeting at 7 o'clock. Have a motion to adjourn.
Can I say something, please? If you mind.
Okay. What would you like? Come on up, please.
Hi. I know my property's been a problem.
Speak to the microphone, please.
I know my property is vacant now, it's been a problem.
Bring them.
Okay? It's been a problem. I'm 7 years old. At my age, I should be retired in Florida. Kathy, if she asks for something, I help her. John over there at Berger, I help them. I follow on. The legislator, I got thrown in jail right by sheriffs because I was putting dirt on the road just to help people. My problem is I bring things home. When I'm silent, I clean out house clean. It's a hoarding issue, but I've been taking rid of vehicles. It's been raining every day. I know it's a mess. I got a fence permit, but Chris, I'm going against Gary again tomorrow night. Why can't they just, if I'm doing it at a state pace, not bring me in front of the judge again? I'm asking the town to give me the July 4th. I asked to build this building, and they said I'm not agriculture. I can't be rezoned. I talked to Kathy about it. So I'm working my best. I apologize to the town for the mess. It's just, I help everybody because I'm always busy. And my age, I should be. But I got a generous heart. And I try doing too much. And I shouldn't bring me back to my property. And by the way, you're doing a great job. But I just ask if you could ask the building department, at least give me July 4th. It's not going to be pulling in front of the judge again, Gary. He'll slap my hand and say it's a rodent problem and that. There's no, I got cats. I know what the state do with all the stuff, but I gotta get rid of the lumber. I tried, the town won't let me take this old lumber I got off jobs, and they don't take their tires no more. The only way I can get rid of the stuff is probably piling the woods, but I don't wanna do it. I took some lumber off of the Natio's jobs, and, I apologize to the town. I'm just asking the building department to give me July 4th, rather than in front of Gary again, because it's not gonna help. me getting scolded and sitting in town, and I apologize.
You know, Kenny, I just want to say this to you, that one, with Tom Ford, I think we all know you're a good person, and how you try and help people out. However, we are not in a position to approach the building department or the court. I think if anything, you should approach, the building department with a request for adjournment, and if the judge doesn't feel it's appropriate, then they'll continue, trying to get you to clean up the parking.
Okay, but in all good intent, I got rid of 4 vehicles, and I'm working, the best I can. I'm not neglecting the final cleanup. Thank you, John.
Yeah, all right, well, thank you, man. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn? Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. You're, thank you for your time, folks.
You have Wally here.
Feel better?
I just take out I bring everything home. I'm a bad boy.
You should be very proud of all I did.
Get it done. It'll be done. All right.
Thanks.
Be here tomorrow. Oh, Gary.
I had to come for it.
Yeah, you gotta come put it on. Gary. Talk to Gary.
Well, I'm just a politician. I'm brought up in town.
I know.
I just wanted to follow. Jim said it's something brought up.
And then what we'll do is we can give you that time for it. To go to. And you can help me. I will.
You're
I'll be here tomorrow. But I do want to see, I do want to see like, all right?
I'll get rid of the numbers. Get rid of it.
Just gotta stop taking everybody's shit.
That's my
You know, the problem is they look at it, they get rid of it.
Even the legislature, you know, they're, and that's what jobs off the.
How long you can't do it? You're gonna get told before it knocks out. That'd be nice. I'd like to.
No problem.
Yeah, it's your problem, bring it up your house. And they'll bring your problem.
Love it. Take care.
We're going for a Bears Legion.